All right.
Okay, I'm going to rattle through this. Okay, I want to talk about why we need to move away from fossil fuels, oil, gas and coal, but importantly I want to explain why it's not an environmental issue and why environmentalists are actually causing a problem that's stopping a more important issue. First of all, I want to bust the myth. The idea of the Earth as this delicate, constant thing that we have to protect and keep in balance is actually bullshit. Because the reality of Earth is, thank you. It's a really violent place. It's been shaped over 4.5 billion years by cataclysmic events, earthquakes, volcanoes, eruptions, floods, you know, and that's been going on for 4.5 billion years, as I say. It's supposed to change. For example, Britain was actually part of Europe until there was a tsunami in the Stone Age, and it created the North Sea. So, you know, this idea about sea levels are rising, they're supposed to. It wasn't caused by people driving to Waitrose in their 4x4s. Okay? But long before the climate changes, we drown or choke, we're going to run out of fossil fuels, and that is the really, really important point. Okay? That's going to happen way before any of the environmental things. And the reason for that is that energy consumption is going up massively because of the developing world, but we've only got enough gas left for 60 years at current estimate, and enough oil left for just 40 years. Okay, so it's going to run out in our lifetime. And even the oil and gas experts say they put more and more energy into finding this stuff and getting it out of the ground because it's as thick as peanut butter, or the gas is acidic or frozen, and then you have to use loads of energy to just get it to be useful, so we're losing it. So what we need to start doing is stop burning things that are running out as fuels. I mean, the car, you know, and heating systems and things haven't moved on fundamentally in a long time, but look at phones, look at TVs, they've moved on in 20, 30 years almost, you know. So what I want you to, if you take one thing from today, it's stop thinking of them as fossil fuels and start to think of them as finite fuels, because they are running out in our lifetime, okay? Now, what do things look like when they're going to run out? This is the first thing we're going to see. This is just the beginning, it's just the start. Go to the forecourts, nothing there. It's kept for emergency services and the army, but the knock-on effects are a lot more kind of scary, so you won't be able to afford it for start. 70% of oil is used for transportation purposes, so that means no diesel transport, so no food deliveries, no waste collection. Okay, it's all going to happen if we keep using fossil fuels. Okay, you're going to have to expect a really different landscape. Say goodbye to your car, won't be able to drive a car. Say goodbye to going on holiday on an aeroplane because jet fuel uses 7 litres a second. Okay. Yeah. Ultimately, we're going to end up in a kind of Mad Max scenario where people are fighting over the last few reserves. Medicines, antiseptics, batteries are all oil products, so there won't be any of those. And that's not going to happen in some far-off country, guys. That's going to happen right here. So who's going to save us? Who's going to get the attention of industry and business and people that can actually make a change and move us away in the right direction, away from fossil fuels? Well, as I say, it's not these guys. Okay. The problem about campaigning on an environmental issue is that it's easy to be seen as an eco-warrior, a tree hugger, a green activist, and ignored, and that is really important that doesn't happen. Okay, and these guys aren't going to help either, so don't look to your energy companies, because British Gas would rather sell you a boiler that's more efficient and keep you using gas for longer than actually help you move away from gas, which is running out. Okay? Yeah, so the future is electric. Electricity is the answer because it's not a fuel, it's a type of energy, and you can generate it in lots of different ways, like this, and then you can store it in batteries and use it when you need to. But wind farms, things like this, they're fine for industry, but for us as individuals, domestically, the future is self-generated energy, okay? It's generated by people, it's generated by communities, it's generated by small businesses and used on site. So you can generate your own electricity. You can, if you've got an electric vehicle, you can power your own transport, you can do it yourself. It's already happening up and down the country. If you Google transition network or transition towns, people are doing it already. So just to reiterate, it's not about fossil fuels, they are finite fuels. Electricity is the answer, and you are the future of energy.